And now I'm going to discuss the concept or the idea about one of the teaching methods of the learning process of the students in the classroom, no other than the assigning topics to interpret. Though it's very easy to hear that you're assigning topics for your students, yet you will just give it some colorful one or giving a meaningful one for your students who will just not assigning topics either, but you're giving it because you wanted to give some challenge in it to your students, towards your students. So this is one way, or this is one of the best way also to create some new things, become creative in your own way, in such way of how able the students to interact by that topics to interpret in their own selves, in their own groupings. So assigning topics is not just being individually, but it's also used for having a teamwork. Yet it depends on the levels of the students also, and it depends on the knowledge or the levels of thinking of your students also. So you must be considerable, and you must also, the lesson is fitted on your topic that you wanted to assign on it. So there's a connection between the lesson and your activity itself. So you must be mindful by that particular sequence of your challenge. So assigning topics to interpret is important also, especially for the graders, because it feels like you have your idea, but it goes on building another creative way of mindset. You have a concept, but you wanted to build more on that. You wanted to give some unique way on how you're able to do that. So, or given a chance to grab the opportunity to express themselves, their own idea, their thoughts, their concepts in particular activity. So by that, one of my classmates used the topic shapes, and then the lesson was going on smoothly, and then by that she assigned the class by groupings, literally by having a teamwork. Cooperation is a must. It given a fact that they're going to make a concept by using the basic shapes, which are the squares, the triangle, the rectangle, the circle, and so on. From group 1, they will just make a home by using the shapes that can be seen, that there will be a basic shapes. That's it, as simple as that. For the group 2, they're going to make a concept that can be seen also, the basic shapes, a human body, using the basic shapes. So that's it. And for the group 3, and so on, so forth. So you're assigning the topic, yet there's a relation to your topic, to your activity itself. There's no another pathway. It must one pathway, and there's a connection between that two. It depends on how you're able to create a wonderful lesson, a wonderful topic, a wonderful activity for your students to make them challenge, giving some twist, to make some fun, yet there's a lesson to be learned, something from it. And then one thing from that is you're assigning topic to your children, to your learners, to your students, precisely about the arts. You gonna make it showing some pictures, and then you wanted to identify those objects literally, and that topic is also a part of the elements of arts, something like that. the forms, the basic shapes. And also you wanted them to draw that is unique. So you have a capacity to guide your students, to guide your learners in their such way that they are comfortable to do so. You are responsible by giving by that activity. That's why assigning topics to interpret is so much effectively to the teachers, for them to grow and to think mindful, a way of creative and unique such way of that. And also it's very important because in assigning topic you must be think wisely. You must think about it. What are the topics that I'm going to assign to my students? Either I will assign them to draw something else, and the one student I will, or a one group of students, I will assign them to paint a home, or to paint a flower, a paint of animals, and then the other group is I will assign them to make a 3D concept of a home, or a 3D concept of a human or something else, and then the other group to create something that is more useful or resourceful, like that. So it depends on how the students interact, how able handles on it on the lesson, that will make more easy, comfortable, relevant, and there's an evidence that there will be a great outcome to the said topic or the said lesson. So given the fact that you're grabbing the opportunity to give topics to your assigning topics to your students, or a group of students, or individually, yet you must have a concept that I want it, and I want it. You will just think how it's going. Is it hard? Is it an easy one? Or is a medium difficult? So you must think about what would be happen in the next if I will do so in this particular topic. So you're depending to the thinkers, you're depending on the level of your students, to the graders itself. So you must adopt, you must attain their hindrances in themselves, your students itself. You must consider it, the capability of your students. So everything, the skills, the knowledge, the comprehension of your student must adapting in this kind of assigning topic to interpret. It could be also used for dramatization, dramatization or role play. You can use it. You're assigning this topic to your students, likely I want you to, in the group 1, I want you to dance tinikling. You're assigning that topic to your student, tinikling. And for the group 2, maglalatik. And for the group 3, karinyosa. And you give some criteria so that they have an idea, or what should we do, they will do, something like that. They have a idea or concept. Oh, okay, it's have a criteria that's relevant, the mastery, the cooperation, like that, something else. So it depends on the students and the teacher interaction. There's a relationship, there's a connection between the two inside the classroom, inside the school. So, and of course also it's because that topic is particular for dances, Philippine folk dances, like that. So there's a relation, those topics that are assigned by them. So think about it, because assigning topics is more relevant. Assigning topics is easy. yet harder, because it depends on the levels of the graders. It depends on the level of the thinkers, the knowledge, the discovery, the experiences of the students itself. So that's why assigning topics is important also in teaching strategy, because the teacher will just facilitate to those students, to those learners, and then the learners will adapt on how they will do it, the task given by the teachers itself. So it's more exciting, it's fun, yet you learn something from it. So that's the concept of assigning topics to interpret.